Hello and welcome to Alfons Zeileis. In 1932, the 100th anniversary of the Hambach Festival is just around the corner. Not only in terms of time, but also literally for the Zeileis family who now lives in Hambach. You can find out what this is all about in this video. It was not easy to research the chronology of events surrounding the 100th anniversary celebrations. Most reports on the anniversary remain superficial. The Zeileis family lives in Hambach, the town that gave its name to the Hambach Festival. For Alfons Zeileis, Hambach Castle is a wonderful motive for his paintings. It would go too far to recount the history of the Hambach Festival in detail in this video. In May 1832, 20,000 to 30,000 participants, depending on the source, from the German states, Poland, France and Great Britain, gathered under the black, red and gold flag at Hambach Castle to demand national unity, freedom and popular sovereignty at this significant event in the history of German democracy and liberalism. The Hambach Festival was the starting point of a development that led to the National Assembly in St. Paul's Church and ultimately to the national unity of the German Empire. In the Weimar Republic, the Hambach Festival was regarded as a glorious event on which the Weimar Republic, Germany's first parliamentary democracy, was based. Unfortunately, this very republic finds itself in crisis in 1932. On 30th of May 1932, the Monday after the centenary celebrations of the Hambach Festival, Reich Chancellor Brüning, who has been ruling in a minority government with emergency decrees since 1930, resigns. The government's situation is serious. Celebrating the Hambach Festival in this state of German democracy is a challenge. The Neustadt Tourist Association and the Palatinate Press Working Group invite guests to the 100th anniversary celebrations. The Palatinate Press celebrates the Hambach Festival as the birth of press freedom. The celebrations are to be apolitical. On 23rd of January 1932, the newspaper Stadt- und Dorfanzeiger reports that the House of Wittelsbach, which owns Hambach Castle, is not allowing any events to be held in the castle, and that the celebrations are to take place on the sports field in Hambach. Newspapers report that the rally took place on a mountain saddle below the 900-year-old castle ruins. Just a few days before the Hambach Festival, members of the Prussian state parliament come to blows right in the chamber. The newspaper Kölnische Zeitung blames the communists and criticizes the National Socialist members of the parliament for failing to follow Adolf Hitler's instructions to remain calm. This is not a new tactic, and it continues to be used in politics and business today. There is an official directive. Those to whom the directive applies violate it. Management responds with increased pressure. Perhaps afterwards, they meet for a glass of beer, celebrate their successful coup, and laugh at those they have duped with this perfidious good guy, bad guy game. The same approach is taken at the Hambach Festival. The Baden organ of the National Socialists, the newspaper Der Führer, agitates against the Hambach Festival because in 1832 the opposition Jew Ludwig Börne, who was living in Paris with the Jew Heinrich Heine at the time, was invited as a guest of honor and Poles took part. By Poles, they mean the participants in the Polish November uprising in 1830, which aimed to liberate Poland from the Tsarist Empire. A group of Poles came to the Hambach Festival in the Palatinate in 1832. Not only anti-Semitism, but also anti-Slavism is noticeable. The NSDAP party newspaper Fürstenfeldbrucker Zeitung reports quite differently on the centenary celebrations. It reports in a thoroughly neutral manner on the historic Hambach Festival of 1832 and the course of the 100th anniversary celebrations. This gives the party leadership the opportunity to officially distance itself at any time. if necessary. The Iron Front, an alliance of organizations whose goal is to preserve and fulfill the constitution of the Weimar Republic and to defend against radical anti-republican efforts, especially by the National Socialists, does not participate in the 100th anniversary celebrations. The 100th anniversary celebrations attract attention throughout the Republic. The speeches are broadcast live on the radio. One of the speakers is none other than Professor Theodor Heuss, who later becomes President of the Federal Republic of Germany, standing in for Professor Müller, who is ill. At this point, Dr. Heuss is a member of the German State Party and sits in the Reichstag. He is a writer and journalist. In early 1932, he published the book Hitler's Way, which quickly reached 8 editions and was translated into Swedish, Dutch, and Italian. In it, he sharply criticizes Hitler's racial ideology, but underestimates Hitler's will to power and ruthlessness. Incidentally, the main protagonists of the Hambach Festival in 1832 were arrested. The German Confederation responded with repression. The black, red, and gold flag was banned. What was the outcome of the 100th anniversary celebrations? Each party tried to exploit the anniversary for its own ends. As a result, it had little impact. Conclusion: if it had not taken place, no one would have noticed. I will end this video with a quote from an article by politician, historian and journalist Hermann Wendel, which appeared in the newspaper Volksblatt Halle on 30th of May 1932. Today we are all familiar with the objections to the Hambach Festival. Unclear seething? Certainly. Petty bourgeois tendencies? Admittedly. Groundless enthusiasm? Agreed. But how endearing our petty bourgeois enthusiasts for democracy, republicanism and humanity appear alongside their descendants who, under the banner of the swastika, are passionate about fascism, dictatorship and brutality. In the next video, we will see how Anneliese, the daughter of Alfons Zeileis, is doing in 1932.